Hello and welcome to today's video. I am so excited for this one. We are talking all about the Natasha Denona bronze palette. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's a good one. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy that you're joining us. And if it's not your first time here, well then welcome back. I first spoke about this collection on my latest anti-haul / wishlist video, and oh my gosh, it was love at first sight for me. These warm kind of bronze, copper, earth, terracotta tones are just everything that my eyeshadow dreams are made of. So I picked up the eyeshadow palette, the cheek palette, and all three of the lip glosses, although I can only find 2 of them right now. I picked up everything from the collection, and I am also giving away the full collection over on Instagram. So be sure to head on over to my Instagram and enter that giveaway. You could win all of these Natasha Denona bronze goodies. If you do not have Instagram, that's okay. You can enter my July YouTube giveaway here on YouTube. I am giving away a $250 Sephora gift card. It's so easy to enter. You just click the subscribe button and then go down to the description box and click on that Rafflecopter link to enter. Since this is a full review, this video may get a little bit lengthy, so I will be sure to put timestamps in the description box below so you can, jump ahead if you're more interested in a certain aspect than another. In this video, we're going to cover the basics, quality, price point, all that good stuff, and then I'm also going to let you know who I think would really love this palette and who I think, should skip it. And then we're going to finish up with some live swatches. All right, let's jump into this review with the basics. So the Natasha Denona bronze palette is retailing for $65. It comes in this plastic kind of travel friendly packaging, which I actually prefer to the other palettes. I have the gold palette and it's that kind of soft cardboard covered with that faux leather, and it does sometimes feel like I'm like a little bit scared to pack it in my regular makeup bag. I kind of have to make sure it's padded. This definitely feels very sturdy, good packaging, and the price point is $65, which I think is a good price point for this quality, this number of shades. I don't think it's too outrageous. I think it definitely is a higher end, but I think it's, about what I would expect to pay for this amount of shadows at this quality with this nice packaging. There are 15 shades in here. There are 6 mattes, and then the rest of the shades are shimmers and duochromes. This color story is just so beautiful. It's very earthy, terracotta. There's definitely very orange, red undertones going through this entire palette. And I love that there are so many shimmers, which can be a plus, maybe a con, depending on who you are. But for me, right up my alley on what I like in a palette. This color story is so beautiful for summer, but I think this palette will also take you through autumn as well. I mean, these are very like autumn kind of leafy colors. So I think this is a really good multi-seasonal palette, because I also feel that even in winter, kind of when we get to holiday, you can use a lot of these colors like True Bronze, Silk, Alloy, Palladium. Like, these look like colors you could really use for a holiday eye look. I do think you'd probably have to supplement once you got to winter, but for summer and fall, I don't think you really need to supplement this palette. I feel like it has everything you need for eye looks. The only thing that is, I'm not going to say it's missing, but the only thing that I think I need to supplement this with, were I to travel and use this as a standalone palette, would be an inner corner highlight. Now, since I picked up the cheek palette, I actually used the highlight from that on my inner corner today, and I think that's what I would do, in the future if I was using this as a standalone palette, is I would just take whatever highlighter I was using for my cheek and use that as my inner corner highlight. So I don't feel like it's detrimental, and to be honest, I love the color story here, so I do not think I would have wanted to sacrifice one of these shades for an inner corner highlight. I think that's something that you can so easily get from your cheek highlight, just multi-use, do double duty with that I think it's better that it's left this way and didn't have an inner corner highlight. I think that if any of these shades were kind of gone, I would feel, I don't know, I think I would feel kind of Even Deep Dive and Rhodium, because Rhodium is such a different shade and I feel like it gives a little bit extra to it. I used Rhodium in a look that you're going to see at the end of the video, and I also used Deep Dive today to kind of deepen up my cat eye, almost as a liner, and I just feel like it works so well in this palette. Both of those do. So there's really no shades here that I would want to be taken out because I feel like these add interest to them. And also Bliss, which kind of looks a little bit, has like a pinky shift to it, also adds a little extra something. So I think that the color story is absolutely beautiful, and I really think it was well thought out, and it's a very good standalone palette. I know that I will be reaching for this a lot, and I don't reach for palettes a lot, so that is really saying something. Another thing I really like about this for me is the number of shimmers. For me, that's actually a positive thing. I'm a mom, so I never know if I'm gonna have an hour to do my makeup or 15 minutes to do my makeup. So for me, if I'm getting crunched on time, I love a really good, light reflective, beautiful shimmer that I can just pack on my lid, blow out into my crease with a big fluffy brush, just blend it on out, and then I'm done. And it just looks light, reflective, beautiful. It looks like I put in more effort than I did. I got a really quick look. There are so many beautiful shimmer shades in here that I can do that with, and that is just such a plus for me because it's not like I have to be like, oh, well, you know what? I ran out of time. I can't do a full eye look. Let me go to my drawer and find, you know, a single shadow or a cream shadow. I can literally decide I'm gonna use this palette, and if I end up having plenty of time to do like a full cat eye like I did today, great. If I don't, that's fine. I can just, you know, take Silk, throw it on the lid, blend it out, be done. I can do the same with True Copper, True Bronze. You know, any of these shimmer shades, I can really do that with, and it's gonna look beautiful. So this for me is just such a great palette. I knew I was gonna love it, and I was not wrong. Now, quality. At this point, we all expect quality from Natasha Denona, and she did not disappoint with this palette. These shades are all creamy. They blend very well. The pigment is there. The color payoff is there. They are very true to color. The shimmers look beautiful applied with a dry brush, and they only get more light reflective and intensive when you apply them with your finger or a damp eyeshadow brush, which is just my very favorite way to apply a shimmer shadow. These are so beautiful, and there is minimal fallout. I only saw fallout in one shade, and that was Magma, and I only saw that fallout when I was putting the brush into the pan. I went in a little bit harder than I normally do. There was only fallout then. There was none when I was putting it on my eyes. I have used every shade in this palette at this point, and they are all the high quality that I have come to expect from Natasha Denona. All right, now let's cover who I think will enjoy this palette and who I think I should skip this palette. I think you will enjoy this palette if you looked at the color story and immediately were like, you know what, those are the tones I am drawn to. If you are someone that is like me and Googles, you know, bronze smoky eye, bronze cat eye, bronze makeup look, if those are the kind of looks that you gravitate towards in the summer or fall, this is going to be a great palette for you. I think you should skip this palette if you're someone who really prefers cool tones. If you tend to gravitate towards cool tones more often, or just feel that cool tones look better on you, then I don't think this is probably the palette for you. Not to say that you can't use warm palettes, because I think you can. I think everyone can, use warm and cool eyeshadows. But I think that if you are more of a cool toned kind of person, if you gravitate more towards those cool tones for your eye looks, I don't think this is the palette to branch out with, because like I was speaking of earlier, these are very orange-red based. I mean, these are very warm, with the exception of probably Ridge and Beach, which are a little bit more yellow-orange toned. These are very warm. Like, it's not like we're like neutral warm. These are warm tones. So I think that this is just not the palette to branch out into warm tones with if you are someone who tends to go for cool tones. There are far many more palettes that would be better suited to someone kind of wanting to just kind of dip their toes into the water of warm colors. This one is like diving into the deep end of warms. I think you will love this palette if you have blue eyes and really like to play that up. Now, while I think these colors are so beautiful, and the shimmers especially so light reflective, they're really going to enhance all eye colors and bring something new. I do think that if you're someone who has blue eyes like I am, you're really going to love playing up your blue eyes with these because they are so orange base, and orange is directly opposite of blue on the color wheel, so it's really going to bring out your eyes. I love wearing tones like this specifically because of that. I love my eyes, and it's a feature I really like to play up. I think that's part of why I'm so drawn to bronze tones, because it does instantly make my eyes look bluer. It brings the focus to the color of my eyes, and that's something that I really like to do with my makeup. I think you should skip this palette if you tend to go for all matte looks. If you are someone who most days is doing an all matte eyeshadow look, this is not the palette for you, because most of these are shimmers or duochromes. So you're really not going to get your money's worth if most of the time you're picking this palette up to only use mattes. It's just not going to get enough use to be worth it. I think you will love this palette if you got the Natasha Denona gold palette, but we're wanting something a little more warm. That's where I kind of fell in. I love the Natasha Denona gold palette, but I ended up not using it as often as I thought I would because it just wasn't warm enough for me. My favorite shade in that palette was the color Dijon. It's like a mustard color, and I love that I have that in this palette with Ridge, but then the rest of the colors are far more what I would go for. They're much warmer than the gold palette. The overall color story is warmer, so I think you really will love this palette if you got the gold palette or wanted the gold palette but felt, you know what, I wish it was a little warmer. And I think you should skip this palette if you still aren't sure if it's for you. If you have watched a couple reviews and you've seen live swatches, which we're about to get into, and you're like, yeah, I still don't know, then skip it, because you know what? It's a $65 eyeshadow palette, and you know what? $65 is not the most expensive eyeshadow palette, but still, it's $65. And if you're going to spend $65 on something that cannot shelter you, clothe you, or feed you, you should be really excited about it. All right, I hope that that helps you decide whether or not you think this palette is for you. Now we're going to get into the live swatches.
Want it, I'ma give it to you G straight. NML beats, I am not a human being. Ballin' like Kareem, sippin' on codeine. I lean with it, rock with it, got coke dreams. Boom, back, boom in the trap. When trap meets house, you get a trap house. Got 2 stacks, throw it at a strip dancer. Big booty hoe, said she from Atlanta.
Some love makes me feel alright. These are the best days of my life.
right, that wraps up this review of the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. I really hope you enjoyed this review. Please let me know in the comments below. Have you picked up the Bronze Palette? You're not going to pick it up? I hope that if you were on the fence, this review helped you out a little bit. I thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. As always, until the next video, you can chat with me down below in the comments or over on Instagram. I hope you have a fantastic day. Please take care of yourself. Bye.